Hello, friends. My name is James Hawkins, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends Brian Castiglione and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hawkins. On this show, we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Parlay-Vous podcast. It's your boy Jimmy Hawkins alongside my younger brother Jack. No Brian today, which is unfortunate because we are going to be opening this episode. We spent the last couple of weeks not many talking points involving the New York teams here, the New York Jets and the New York Giants. And this week we actually do have a few that are worth talking about for a little bit. So I do wish we had a Brian or another Giants fan to bounce some of this nonsensical horseshit off of. But here we go. So the New York Giants are done. They've made the decision. They've pulled the plug on Dimes. Mr. Dimes will no longer be playing football for Big Blue, or hopefully not in the state of New York anytime soon, or New Jersey.
Carolina.
I just said hopefully because there's a fucking very scary reality where he's a bridge quarterback for the Jets. It's very, very scarily possible. You're going to look me in the eyes and tell me that it's not realistic. If a new regime comes in and they want to go, maybe they don't love any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft. Danny Dimes is going to get like the Baker Sam Darnold deal, like the 1 for 5, 1 for 10 million prove it contract, and let's see what you can do. You're going to tell me,
no.
You're going to look me in the face, brother, and tell me that there isn't a very easy path to Dimes being the Jets starting quarterback next year. There's a very sad potential reality where that could be true. But anywho, right now he is not a New York Jet. He's a New York Giant, and he will no longer be playing games. Or I think he might be dressing as the emergency quarterback, but he's jumped to quarterback 3. This is largely because the Giants have obviously made the decision internally, although the writing is on the wall. Nothing has been said out loud about it, but we're moving on from Dimes. Daniel Jones is going to be not for long in the New York Giants uniform, so there's an injury guarantee for 23 of his $30 million salary next season, becomes fully guaranteed if he cannot pass a physical by the 5th day of the league year in 2025. So like mid-March about. So that's it. We're not risking it. He's not playing anymore. If he gets hurt, we're saddled with all this money next season. We're just going to move on from him and cut our losses and start over. Shane and Dable are going to get one more crack at this thing before they ultimately get the axe. So now this is where it gets interesting.
You put the fear of God in me earlier, dude. I'm sorry. I was like shaking for a second.
Who are the New York Giants starting on Sunday, Jack?
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy fucking Cutlets. Tommy DeVito, Tommy fucking Cutlets is going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants this week and presumably going forward. And I just cannot understand why. Like, to make the fans happy, to get some social media clips the rest of the way here.
It seems
like, because he's a fucking kid from Jersey and a bunch of, New Yorkers.
Jabronis.
A bunch of jabronis. You're going to, like, go around and do the fucking, hey, the Tommy Cutlets fucking
Bro, it's going to be quite the Thanksgiving for all Italian families across America.
It's going to be all Italianos all the time in New York, and I just don't understand it. Like, so we often say that tanking in other sports happens, right? Tanking doesn't often happen in football because seasons are so short, players' careers are so short. NFL does stand for not for long. So you rarely see like active tanking in football where you've seen the Philadelphia 76ers process of tanking and other teams that in baseball teams notoriously try to not be good because they count on getting that luxury tax check at the end of the year for not being a successful team. So these things happen.
I didn't know that was a thing in the MLB. I didn't know that's how they did that.
Yeah.
So they can sign more people.
Pirates are like notorious for it. Yeah, they'll keep a small salary, stay below the salary tax, not compete with fucking the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, not compete with them for contracts, try to do it through the farm system. They're like the Pirate. I don't know baseball like that, so like I don't want to speak out of school, but there are teams whose total salary is like the same as fucking Aaron Judge's yearly salary.
Right.
Like they're a team and they get that luck. All the teams that go over this fucking nonsense, I don't even know how it works, but the they pay a luxury tax, the teams that, I don't think there is a salary cap in baseball at all, but there is a luxury tax. I don't know how it works, but yeah. And
Right.
that money gets distributed to the other, smaller markets and whatever. So yeah, there are a few teams that are notorious for doing that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. My point is, this is got to be an active form of tanking to go with Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock. Drew Lock has been the number 2 all season. Drew Lock was taking first team reps through much of camp. He knows this offense. He's been here. You paid him $5 million. All year, he was the guy dressed where if, God forbid, dimes went down and he couldn't continue, Drew Lock was going to be your guy. So now we get to a point where Drew Lock is still the backup quarterback, and we're going with Tommy DeVito. In terms of winning games, it doesn't make much sense to me, and I'm going to double down right now and explain to you why this shit doesn't make any sense from just a common sense standpoint, in my opinion. So Drew Lock was signed to a 1-year contract for $5 million in base pay with the opportunity to earn up to $3 million extra in incentives. Jack, those incentives are?
Playing time incentives for 40 to 70% snap percentage on starting, 250,000 each, into going up 40, 50, 60, 70. Passing incentives, 92.5 passer rating, 250,000. 65% completion rate, 250,000. 88 passer rating plus 15 touchdown passes, 250,000. 88 passer rating plus 2,000 passing yards, 250,000. Team incentives, 55 to 90%, 55 to 69% snap percentage plus playoff berth, 500,000. 70% snaps plus playoff berth, 500,000.
So the 2 playoff berth ones are gone already, so that's $1 million wiped off the board right there, right? So if you're Joe Shane and Brian Dable and the Maras and the Tishes and whoever is involved with the New York Giants brain trust here, and you are this concerned that Drew Lock is going to hit the majority of these incentives in the remaining 8 games of the season, if that's your reasoning for why you're not going to start him now that we're pulling the plug on Daniel Jones, that you're worried that he's going to hit all of these incentives in 8 games, then he should have been the fucking starter from the beginning. If you thought he could do all of this in 8 games, then why was he not starting in fucking September? At the very least by October. It doesn't make sense to me. Those are 2 conflicting fucking ideas. The idea that with 2 months left in a season on a team that is fucking 3-8, that has a couple of turnstiles on the offensive line, that cannot stop a fucking nosebleed, you're worried that this guy might come in and all of a sudden be borderline Superman, then you should have been playing him for at least the last fucking month, no? If we're talking about winning football games, and you're talking about not wanting to pay a guy in case he hits incentives that would lead to winning football games now, then why weren't you worried about it then? At a certain point, we had to know that Daniel Jones was not working out, right? If you are willing to tell me now that over an extra $2 million, because like we just said, that $1 million off the rip is gone because they're not making the playoffs. Over the potential that this kid might hit the fucking incentive for $2 million, or maybe that might show you that you have a guy. Maybe that might show you that you had a guy in your roster the whole time that you could compete a little fucking better with. So, I don't get any of it. Other than, I guess from a business standpoint, but just based off of playing time percentages and snap percentages the rest of the way, there's only 8 games left. We are through a 17-game season. We are fucking just about past the halfway point at this point now, more than the halfway point. I don't know mathematically how many of those he can actually get to.
You have to play out of his mind. So,
just talking about remaining snaps, just how many remaining snaps are there the rest of the way? That he could get to 65% of them. Fucking 65% of the season's happened already, no? I mean, I'm no number guy here. None of it makes sense because I don't think that there's a realistic shot that he could hit the fucking incentives. Most of them. So take the business part of it out. I don't believe that you have a better chance at winning football games with Tommy fucking Cutlets than you do with Drew Lock. And I don't. It just doesn't make sense. You know, he's 2 all year, all fucking season. Drew Lock is the number 2. Now we're going from 3 to 1. Daniel Jones and DeVito are just flipping spots, and
It's
Drew
gotta
Lock,
be social media, dude.
who, by the way, has nuts of steel. Like, he might not be a guy. He's like, ceiling for him at this point is maybe Geno Smith level of a fucking thing. Like, he's like not even a Fitzpatrick, but like a Ty God. Really, he's like, he could be a Tyrod Taylor type of quarterback where he could probably make a lot of decent money in this league for a long time. Being a guy that you're not afraid to put out there, God forbid you have to. He's got fucking nuts of steel. He's not afraid to make mistakes. He's going to come out there. He's a quarterback that comes into the game as a backup, and your offense doesn't feel limited. Like, he's still going to take the fucking shots and the balls downfield. We're not going to go into a shell. And
It's not like watching Cooper rush.
It's not going to be run, screen, run, slant, run. We're not going to fucking be playing scared when Drew Lock. I feel like he's the ultimate. He's like the Deion Waiters of backup quarterbacks.
I guess, dude. I'm with
Irrational confidence, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Drew Lock, and I'm genuine. Like, maybe it's also because we're from here, and like fucking, this isn't all Giants fans. # not all Giants fans, but there is a specific brand of Giants fan that is also a Yankees fan. That is the worst kind of fucking person.
Right.
Like a 33-year-old Giants-Yankees single dude, no kids. That could potentially be one of the worst people you ever meet at the ballpark. You know, like drinking, liquored up, being an asshole. And so, like, all the fucking drunk idiot morons that are going to be going around doing the cutlet thing is enough to fucking piss me off about it, honestly, if I'm just being biased. And we all know about us. Like, I'm not an obnoxious Jets fan.
No.
I fucking hate the Jets more than a lot of people do. I also love them, but I fucking hate them. I'm surrounded by Jet shit in this room, and it makes me want to throw up a little bit in my mouth. But, so for that reason alone, I fucking cannot stand the specific brand of douchebag Giants fans, and they're going to be out in full force in Patchogue this weekend. You better fucking believe it. Doing a cutlet.
They're going to be doing it.
So none of it makes any fucking sense. It's an unserious move. It's a move that, for one thing, definitely tells me that Shane and Dable are safe and they're throwing out the white flag.
I guess so.
New York Jets. Jack, the floor is yours, brother.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll take you through the past 48 hours. Early yesterday, about 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Around there. Joe Douglas gets the axe when you texted us. It's around there, I'm assuming, is when the news broke, probably 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
right?
about noon 30.
Noon 30, right?
Yeah.
And I'm at work, and I'm like, oh, wow. That fucking blows. You know what? Joe Douglas's career as a Jet is one that I would keep on my resume. You know, I think Joe Douglas has done nothing but a phenomenal job in that GM chair. Okay? That's 12:50. That's when I read the text. I get home, I sit on it, and I'm like, well, I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I've relaxed. You know, Breece Hall, a guy who's a potential to be an All-Pro. Garrett Wilson, going to be an All-Pro. Sauce Gardner, potential to be All-Pro, was All-Pro last year, no? DJ Reed, incredible signing. Quincy Williams, Joe Douglas at the beginning of his regime, guess who he signed to please Quinnen Williams? Quincy Williams.
Well, not necessarily true.
Not necessarily.
Saleh knew him. Saleh liked him. Saleh jumped
Right.
at the opportunity to sign him when he got cut from Carolina, I want to say.
Just, I think it was
Saleh
right.
was heavily involved scouting him in San Francisco, and Saleh was a big fan of his before he even showed up. But yeah, partially is also to please Quinnen, but
Right.
turned out
Kill
to
two
be,
birds, one stone.
turned out to be a top 5 off-ball linebacker.
Very true. Very true. I turned my vape off. I'm an idiot. Anyway. So, all these pieces, you know, Ryan Clark.
There's also...
Hold on. You want to know who else was one of these pieces that Joe Douglas signed? Jordan Whitehead, who had a pretty decent year as a Jet.
Yeah, he couldn't fucking tackle.
He couldn't tackle, but how many interceptions did he have?
He had one game with 3 interceptions, and I think he had 3 interceptions in the whole year.
6? And what's a good number on interceptions on a year?
6 is a good number. I think he had 3 total the whole year, and they were all in one game.
either way. I still think
I genuinely agree, but there's also people who are going to point to misses. They're going to point to Zach Wilson. They're going to point to taking Mekhi Becton over Tristan Wirfs, who is an All-Pro.
I'm just talking about guys who are still on the team.
They're going to point to
relevant.
Mims. They're going to point to Jamari Saniga. There's a lot of misses in there also.
Right.
But
there's always going to be misses.
The wins are wins. So this is
the amount of
microscope bullshit where people want to argue about it.
But it's the value of those wins and what your roster is now. You have retained, 4 of the guys? DJ Reed was a Joe Douglas signing. Hold on. Who else is a Joe Douglas guy? We got Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson, same draft class as Brees Sauce and Garrett.
Yep. Will Howard. Not Will Howard.
WMD. Will McDonald.
Will McDonald, yes. Will Howard's in college still?
I don't know who Will Howard is. Yeah, quarterback for Ohio State. Yeah, Will Howard. Yep.
But this is me.
Dalvin Cook is also a Joe Douglas guy. Laken Tomlinson was also a Joe Douglas guy. Fucking
Solomon Thomas.
Michael Clemens was a Joe Douglas guy. You know, like you can point to, we can do this all day, and yes, there's going to be misses and there's going to be hits always.
But I'm remembering what is making this team now. But so that's me last night. That's Wednesday night. Wake up this morning before I go to work, and I'm already woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I just didn't have a great morning this morning when I got up before I went to work. So
grumpy little kid.
I was a grumpy little guy. So I'm all grumpy. I see this bullshit. Not only talking about like Woody this, Woody that, some fucking bullshit on Woody Johnson. And I'm like, whatever. I don't need to look at this now. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to try and go to work and have a good time. I'm still a grumpy little guy at work, too. I had to put away the delivery. And then I get a break in the action. So I'm like, all right, what's going on with Woody? Let me figure this out. So I opened the tweet you sent me. I looked at the first 3 things, and I was like, hey, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. I was like, whatever, blow off some steam, don't look at it. Later on Instagram, I find the whole list, which is the tweet we have up on the computer right now. And now I probably 4 o'clock-ish today, 3 hours before the podcast. Now I have nothing to say, but I fucking told you so. The writing was on the wall. Everything. We already know. Woody Johnson, not a winner, dude. Not a winner. You're a Jet for the past decade and a half. Guess what they didn't do? Win.
Even his company's vaccine came in 3rd place.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, not a winner. But to finish my point before you move on to our stated tweets here, I've had enough. The Jets fans who are obnoxious about it, oh, fucking Woody, because I'll hear it tomorrow. When Rosario fucking calls me tomorrow and asks me what I think about Woody, I'm going to be like, I fucking knew it, dude. I knew it. I wouldn't suspect anything less. And this tale, this Broadway tale that we have now it's gotten to the point where it's annoying me, and I'm now going to select for the rest of the year to not acknowledge the Jets. Because this story is...
Start studying some tape. It's Jackson Dart season, I hope.
I'm not going to do anything Jets yet until we get to playoff talking time. Little before rivalry weeks.
So the tweet that I'm reading these things off of came from @U_Stadium. These are some talking points from the report that came out today from The Athletic. The Athletic's Zach Rosenblatt and Diana Rossini, which I take everything that Rosenblatt and Rossini say about the Jets with a grain of salt, because they do kind of hate the fucking Jets, and they were writing slam pieces last year, and Rosenblatt will jump at any opportunity to feed off of Jets fucking emotions. So I take it all with a grain of salt, but these things they all do fit the fucking bill. So Woody Johnson unilaterally fires Robert Saleh on October 8 without consulting anyone. Woody Johnson blocked Bryce Huff's extension wishes from Douglas. The player that we were all bitching to Joe Douglas about not getting a deal done with and not doing it, Woody said, no, Mas, we're not paying that guy. Robert Wood Johnson nixed the Douglas trade, offering Alan Lazard and a day 2 draft pick for Jerry Jeudy. I believe this was preseason. Woody Johnson's micromanagement of JD escalated after forcing Douglas to fire close friend, assistant general manager Rex Hogan. Following the move, it's quote-unquote theorized Douglas told staffers, open quote, Woody should just fire me now, close quote. When Chad Alexander, Douglas's top advisor, left for the Chargers, Johnson blocked Douglas from replacing him, further diminishing his authority. Hassan Reddick held out after Woody Johnson refused to negotiate an extension. Tyron Smith, who's been awful, and Mike Williams, who is no longer with the team. Those signings were very Johnson-driven. Johnson pushed for the Davante Adams trade, albeit probably 2 games too late. Johnson is the one who benched Tony Adams against the wishes of the coaching staff last weekend. If you remember, safety, which is one of the worst positions for the Jets on the field, we knew that going into this season. Tony Adams doesn't play after the game. They asked Jeff Ulbrich about the benching, and Jeff Ulbrich was basically just like, I can't answer that. Like, I can't get into the details of that right now. So Woody Johnson, the fucking heir to the Johnson & Johnson throne, the rich man who is not a fucking football coach, not a talent evaluator, wasn't a player, just a fucking man who owns the team, he said, bench that guy. I don't want him playing anymore. And Rodgers is likely not going to return this season, next season, no matter what Aaron Rodgers wants to do, because Woody has decided that he wants to move on. So Woody, the guy who Joe Douglas went out and got Aaron Rodgers because Woody wanted him. Joe Douglas went out and got Tyron Smith and Mike Williams because Woody wanted them. Joe Douglas was not able to re-sign Bryce Huff, one of the best edge rushers on the team, because Woody didn't want him. Joe Douglas traded for Hassan Reddick and then was not able to get him on the field for 7 weeks because Woody wouldn't open the checkbook. Joe Douglas traded for Davante Adams because Woody wanted it. Joe Douglas hired Nat Hackett because Woody wanted it, because Woody wanted Rodgers to come here. Joe Douglas didn't want to fire his head coach. Joe Douglas didn't want to fire his assistant general manager. Woody Johnson did all of these things. And oh, by the way, Woody Johnson wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers after the Denver Bronco game. At 2-2, 1 game out of first place in the AFC East, Woody Johnson, again, not a football guy, went to the football men in the operation and requested to bench the future Hall of Fame quarterback that he forced everybody to bring here in the fucking first place. Maybe we should start doing this, Robert Wood Johnson. Why don't we point the finger at our own chest? Could you fire yourself, perhaps? Do you think you could fire yourself? Because I got news for you. It doesn't matter if you hire Jesus H. Christ to come down from our fucking heavenly afterlife and run the New York Jets organization. If you keep putting your dumb fucking fingers involved in it, even Jesus wouldn't be able to fix this team. As long as Woody keeps fucking meddling in it. Let the football guys do the football. You do the fucking owner thing. Watch the game from the box. Shut the fuck up. Let the football guys do football. Shut your mouth, Woody. I'm praying to God Donald Trump hires him again to fucking leave. But then again, dumb fuck Chris Johnson didn't do much better in his 4 years running the operation either. Oh, by the way, not a month ago, Woody Johnson is on the record saying, and I quote, "This is the best and most talented roster we've had in 25 years of me owning this team." Who do you think put that roster together, Woody? The best roster you've ever had in 25 years was assembled by Joe fucking Douglas and his team, and one by one, you sent them all fucking packing. What were we talking about before with the Giants about things not adding up? Woody Johnson, Jets fans, Woody Johnson is slapping us all in the face once again right now and telling us all that 2 + 2 = 5, and we're crazy for not believing him. That's what's going on. We're being gaslit by Robert Wood Johnson. Here's one positive thing I'll say about it. Joe Douglas was in the final year of his deal. The writing has been on the wall since the Saleh firing that Douglas probably wasn't coming back unless they probably, after the Saleh firing, they probably needed to get to at least an AFC title game to save everyone else's job involved. and that was quickly not happening. So 3 games post the Saleh firing, writing's on the wall. Joe Douglas is probably going to have to pay for this with his job. Final year of the contract, whatever. Doesn't it make more sense to just fire him now, get a leg up on the general manager situation, not still be interviewing general managers 2 weeks before the fucking NFL draft? Doesn't that make... So that's the one silver lining that I can find in this whole situation, is that maybe we can hire a general manager before this season's over, perhaps. I don't know what the bylaws are in the NFL. I know they can certainly start the search now. I don't know if they can hire a new GM during the season, but can we at least get a few guys in the building to learn the dynamics of what's going on and the players that are already in the building before they just show up with no attachment to any of these guys and just decide, we don't want to pay Garrett Wilson, he's not our guy, let's trade him for a 3rd-round draft pick. That's my fear. We have all of this blue chip talent that we drafted under Joe Douglas that is now going to have no attachment to the new regime. So maybe we don't want to hand Garrett Wilson a $100 million contract. Maybe we don't want to pay Sauce Gardner $10 million a year. Maybe we don't think running backs are that valuable and we don't need to pay Breece Hall. Jermaine Johnson just tore his Achilles. He can't possibly be the same. These are my worries. So I don't even know. Let's just pray to God. At this point, I'm rooting against the Jets every step of the way here. And it will be the most Jets-like thing and the most Aaron Rodgers-like thing for him to rip off like 3 of the last 4 and put this team right back in no man's land. I know this is a down quarterback class. I know there's other talented players available. We will see what happens GM-wise and head coach-wise and who becomes available in the market. We know the quarterback market is crazier than ever. I don't know if it has to be a guy this year. We will do more draft evaluation, when we get there. Start watching way more college tape now. Is it Shadur? I don't know. Is it one guy we need to... I'm not talking about this now, but I want to give you the opportunity. Anything else about the Jets?
I mean, listen, you're in the heat of passion right now.
I know. Jets do that to me.
I'm just hoping that Woody Johnson's on the Diddy party list.
Dude, why? Why are you going to say something like that? I'm going to leave that one in, but goddamn, dude.
It's the only way we can crawl out of this hole.
That would be incredible stuff, dude. Really would be.
Dude, that is Jets fucking organizational management.
So, what I want to say is, this has got nothing to do with the Jets as much as it's just draft evaluation. Can we officially take Garrett Nussmeier out of this conversation?
Who the fuck is Garrett Nussmeier?
The LSU starting quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier, guys have him in the top 3 prospects.
That's a guy who you draft in the 4th round.
They have him going, some guys have him going in the top 5, as the second quarterback off the board.
Oh, well, because LSU's on a tear right now.
No, they're not. They're losing.
They've been losing in the SEC, but they had a good start to the season. He's been making good throws.
Garrett Nussmeier is not.
LSU is receiver university too, so quarterbacks are gonna look good at LSU besides Joe Burrow.
Look, like I said, who knows what happens with the Jets and the quarterback position going forward. All that we know for sure is that we're trying again. Here we are, 2 years down the line, 5 years removed from Zach Wilson, 7 years removed from Sam Darnold, or are we 4 years removed from Zach Wilson? 4 years removed from Zach Wilson, 2 years removed from the Rodgers trade, and 7 years removed from Sam Darnold. And we're looking for answers some more at the quarterback position in New York. Just from what I've seen watching games, and I've watched a lot of these guys a lot of times now, I still think Jackson Dart is my guy, but we got plenty of time. There's lots of talent in this draft that isn't at the quarterback position. This is widely considered
It's going to be Carson Beck, dude.
I mean, it's off. No, fuck it. If it's Carson Beck, I will unalive myself. I hope the Giants draft Carson Beck. That would be the best.
Might as well go get some rope while it's on sale, dude.
I will say this. I know it's tough whenever a guy's pro comp widely accepted across the board is Geno Smith. That's tough to be let me take that guy number 1 overall.
Jets ain't going to have number 1.
You don't know that. The number one team has got 2 wins. The Jets have 3. You don't know that. The Panthers are playing good football right now. The Bears, I think, are
playing the Chiefs.
Who's the worst team in the league right now that's got the number one pick? The Jaguars with 2 wins. You telling me the Jaguars can't rip off 2 wins the rest of the way? Jets go 3-14 and slide in the top 2. Then it's either Travis Hunter or fucking Shadera. I'm telling you, if I had my pick between the 2 of them, take fucking Travis Hunter. DJ Reed's probably gonna walk because he wants to win now and he's gonna get paid money wherever he wants to go. Take Travis Hunter. Let's go sauce and Travis Hunter, baby.
I think he's gonna.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Did you see what Travis Hunter said?
No.
If he couldn't wear 12 in the league,
What did he say?
said if he gets to the league and he can't get 12, he's gonna wear 40. And can't wear 12 if you go to the Jets. Yeah, I'll check Travis Hunter in a number 40 Jets jersey.
Why
I don't
40?
know, he just said it on a podcast. I don't know.
Isn't 40 one of those numbers that's like a gross number?
I think it's gross. Yeah, I think it's
Is it
disgusting.
like that's like a practice camp number, like an outside linebacker?
It's a fullback.
It's a full. Oh yeah, Mike Allstott.
It's a fullback. That's a third string inside linebacker.
Jesus.
It's a holder, kicker. Like
I could fuck with it though. It would be an
it's
iconic jersey.
disgusting. But anywho, we got plenty of time to talk about draft. I guess.
Yeah, let's move
This is
to
what we
the
look
brighter
for. My
side.
point is, Jets fans, Giants fans, you gamble on good teams. Pay more attention to football on Saturdays if you're afforded that opportunity. Maybe say, hey, babe, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, on Sunday we can go do the farmer's market. On Saturday I have to watch Jackson Dart play. Maybe we do that trade-off instead. See what you can't do. Lines to be guessed.
Lines to be guessed.
There are lines that need to be guessed.
The much better part of today. Today is a New York sports fan. I mean, listen, since we just finished up with the Jets and the Giants, one last tidbit. The Knicks, bro. Number 4 in the East right now. It doesn't help that Cleveland's going on the terrible lifetime. Have you been paying attention?
Yeah, they did just get smoked last night.
They got smoked by the Celtics, but what does that really mean to me? I think the Celtics are shaky in the playoffs. I think that's the problem. They fall asleep at the end of the year. So the Knicks playing the Suns tonight at 10 o'clock. So not prime time, but a late game in the NBA is a good slot. So Knicks playing the Suns tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, much bigger addition than I was anticipating. Playing meaningful minutes, meaningful basketball.
It's almost time for me to make you say you're sorry.
It is almost time for me to.
It's still November though. So.
Yeah, we can
But
see what happens.
very soon. Just anticipate.
He's growing on me.
Just anticipate me demanding an apology between now and March.
Oh, I will say,
On the air.
Mikal Bridges looks like dog shit if you ask me. But
It'll get better. They're just not using him right. To give up all those picks and then just have him.
he should be guarding Booker
a guy
tonight,
in the corner.
and if he's not guarding Booker and Josh Hart is, then I'm gonna have a problem.
Well, we'll see.
If you pay a guy like
What's
that,
the spread?
Jesus Christ,
Is this not this the spread in that game?
5.5 in the Knicks' favor, I think.
Fuck, really?
Yeah,
Wanted to bet on them, but if they're minus 5.5.
they just cooked whoever they played recently, bad, by like a 30-point margin.
Okay, but why would Bridges not play on Durant?
You could play him on
You're
Durant.
gonna switch. Spend
So
OG and Mikal Bridges. You're gonna switch around on Durant. And
I
you
think
put
OG
Hart on
and
Booker
Mikal, their assignments are any player who can score the ball.
We talked about this in the preseason. This entire fucking team is built to switch on the perimeter. So outside of Cat and Brunson, the other 3 guys.
Went from 5.5 to 4.5.
Some heavy money's coming on the Suns. All right. Thursday night football. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. I have Pittsburgh minus 3.5.
Really? Pittsburgh's 8-2. Cleveland's 2-8.
Divisional matchup.
Divisional on the road. I went 7.5, so I might be a little too high here, but I wasn't seeing your vision. You're right, 3.5.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong to start.
Divisional game, and Cleveland's still a good defense. I had a bing bong to start last week, and you still won, right?
Yeah.
Monday, 1 p.m. slot, Minnesota. Going to the most dangerous place in the Midwest, Chirac, Illinois. Take on the Bears. Give me Skull, minus 7.5.
Skull 7.5. I went Skull 1.5.
Why?
Respect for the Chicago Bears defense that's not deserved. And the spread's 3.5.
Okay, that's a smash. Smash, dude.
I mean, I agree with you. It's just I went with the line.
Smash it. Detroit Lions at Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis Colts. One Pride minus 9.5.
One Pride minus 8, and the spread is one Pride minus 7.5.
God damn, really?
Again, it's the Colts effect. I don't know. Halfway decent
suck,
defense.
Dude, they suck. The Jets almost beat them. The Jets should have beat them.
Well, the Jets. I knew by the time the game was over, I was like, they're gonna lose in the fourth quarter,
I
and
stopped
they did.
watching it.
I did too, because I knew they were gonna lose.
New England Patriots at Miami. Give me the Fins minus 4.
Give me the Fins minus 9.5, and the spread is minus 7.5. I'm closer. New England's not good.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at JetLife Stadium for Tommy Cutlets. Bucks minus 8.5. And the only reason it's not higher is they don't have a starting receiver on the roster.
I didn't think it was that worth that much. I mean, I agree with you.
The Bucks are a good football team.
Yeah, but I didn't
I just spent 10 minutes talking
who
about
does,
one
who's
series.
the book
Giants
respecting and who's the book not respecting?
Not Tommy DeVito. What do you have?
I got 5.5, and the spread is 6.
Really?
Yes. I just don't think that's enough.
No, neither do I. But you were below it.
No, I'm saying, like, I don't think, like, 8 points on the book. A book hasn't given respect to either of these teams all year, right? Besides, maybe the Giants a little bit.
What did you say it is? 6?
6. They're giving respect to the Giants.
Assume they gave them the 3 for being the home team. That's still
Yeah.
9 points. Dallas Cowboys at Washington. I'm going to take the C words minus 7.5.
Okay, wrong game. I got excited.
Cowboys,
No, me. What'd you took? 7.5.
C words minus 7.5.
C word 7.5. I had 6.5, and it's minus 10.5.
All right, I'll take it. I guess.
This is such
Because
a
Cooper
weird
Rush
slate.
sucks, and it's Trey Lance time. Both Jerry World, physically, and Jerry's World, emotionally, are falling apart. Did you see the metal falling off of the roof of the stadium?
Yeah, dude. I saw Gridiron Heights. It's like the cartoon that
I
they
know
do.
what Gridiron Heights
Yeah,
is.
bro. They were
I'm
doing
not that old, bro.
They were doing the mid-season review, their new episode, and it was fucking Tom Brady doing the mid-season review. And it's Jerry in there looking all fucking old and like maniac, and he's like, "Revenue's up, practice facility visits are on the rise. You know, we're everything. You know, we're selling a lot of food." And Tom's like, "But does this equivalent to wins on the field?"
Who was it?
And Tom Brady was talking to like Jerry Jones back and
Oh.
forth. And Jerry was like, "You want us to win? I thought we were supposed to make money."
Kansas City Chiefs at Carolina. Maybe I went too low, but who cares? Carolina's been a little frisky, especially at home lately. Kansas City's kind of been unimpressive on offense, but I still have them over a touchdown, minus 7.5.
Yeah, Kansas City respect, bro. Minus 10. I took minus 10. The spread's 10.5. Sometimes you just gotta think like the book. And the book is biased as fuck. If you ask me.
Final 1 p.m. game. Tennessee Titans, the number 1 ranked defense. Tennessee Titans.
Not anymore, but...
You know. At Houston, maybe I went too low on this one out of respect for Tennessee's defense. I have Houston minus 3.5.
I thought I had the same feel.
Also a divisional game, right?
Yeah, I also had the same feeling, but I went Houston 5.5 because I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger. They were. Houston minus 8.
Jesus Christ.
It's a weird slate this week.
All right, we're into the 4 o'clock games. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games remaining. 6-3. It's still anyone's game. Denver Broncos at Vegas. I think because they're on the road and they're still a little green, I went a little low here, but it is what it is. I never thought I would have said this about the Denver Broncos 12 weeks ago, but I went too low. I have Denver minus 5.5.
Wow. I have Denver minus 5 and it's Denver minus 6.
There you go.
Right in the fucking slot.
Right
there,
in the
huh?
fucking hole. San Francisco going to Lambeau Stadium, take on Green Bay. By the way, this is a Hall of Fame uniform matchup.
What's up with San Francisco? Anything
Anything
notable?
I don't remember who said it in the beginning of the year. Someone said it online, not online, on TV, and I completely agree with them. This is an emotionally drained football team. Much of this football team lost the Super Bowl in 2019 and lost the Super Bowl last year. This team has been in how many consecutive NFC Championship games? This is an emotionally drained and an emotionally tired football team. And the CMC effect, like, you know, he wasn't there a lot of the year.
Yeah, but like
Maybe-
anything, I'm saying catastrophic
I
because
would,
we're not getting this one.
I have Green Bay -1.5.
I don't believe you. No, because I have San Francisco -6. Okay, I know, I believe that, but I think you looked at the book
I 100%.
because it's Green Bay -1.5.
Hey,
You looked at the fucking book, dude. No. You tried to accuse me of looking at the fucking book, and you thought it
You
was
watched
okay.
me guess the lines, brother. You watched me do it with my phone on the other side of the fucking office. I
It's-
did not.
There's
look
no
at the
way
book.
you fucking guessed
I
that Green Bay would be
100% guessed Green Bay
favored.
favored -1.5.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because San Francisco is not there fucking. First of all, San Francisco is currently. What do you think the odds on the Niners are to not make the playoffs? To not make the playoffs.
500.
Plus or minus. What does that mean?
Plus 500.
The San Francisco 49ers to not make the playoffs right now at DraftKings Sportsbook is -275. The odds for them to make the playoffs are +260. Go ahead, pull it up, dude. There's a sub 500 team that is not competing well on the road. Going to a team that plays very well at home. And
is their record not?
they're 500. They're sub 500. 5-6, 6-5, 5-5 perhaps. They had their bye already, right? I think they're 5-5.
I'm stunned right now.
I love that you were like, we got it wrong, and I was like, oh, but did we? I could see your face when I said Green Bay, and I said -1.5. I'm like, oh, he's mad, man. He's big, man. 6-6. It's all tied up. 3 games left. Arizona Cardinals at Seattle. The battle in the Pacific Northwest. Again, a divisional game. Give me the Cardinals -2.
I also have the Cardinals -2. And it's Cardinals -1. So we're both tied, and I have my finger over, and I have not slipped past and not looked. There's an over-under. We're both going to write an over-under for the point because it's a close game. Are you okay with that?
No.
No, you only do that for tiebreaker?
No one gets a point. We tie break if we fucking finish and it's a tie.
Okay.
We just go no one gets a point or we both get a point. It doesn't matter because we're tied. So I'm just going to not flip the paper over and no one gets a point.
Okay.
You want to go tiebreaker, you fucking lose one of these and then win the other one. Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Rams. What do you have?
3.5.
Philly?
Philly.
Me too.
It's 2.5. So,
Monday Night Football for all the fucking beans, dude.
Okay.
Get your
What do
face
you-
away from that
What do you
screen.
got?
Baltimore Ravens at Los Angeles Chargers. I have the Ravens -3.5.
I have Baltimore -4.5, and it's Baltimore -2.5.
Damn, dude. What a skin of the nutsack victory. Final score 7 for me, 6 for Jack. Good playing with you. Hold on.
Whoa, no, okay,
No, come on, lock it in.
No, you
Lock
see
it in.
this?
Lock
Oh
it in.
God, dude.
Lock it in.
All right,
Look me in the eyes.
okay.
I promise you I didn't look up that spread.
I
It doesn't
Don't
mean that
care.
much to me. Okay, disrespectful. All right, Thursday night.
I'm gonna get mine.
Let's play some Thursday night football gambling. Pull the thing up.
Oh, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
I mean, just start talking to me. What do you think?
Pull it up and give me. We're gonna start this every time.
All right, spreads -3.5, over under 37. Money line for the Steelers 198 plus 164 for the Browns.
Spreads 3.5. You say?
3.5, I say.
Feels like a trap game.
It is.
This feels a lot like a trap game. But 3.5 is just weird. I'm gonna take Cleveland plus 3.5.
Okay.
I like the under, but I'm not gonna bet on it. I just pretty much don't bet on over-unders anymore. Here's what I will tell you, and I will tell you this now because obviously by the time Friday's show came out, this game will have came and went already. I know a lot of people subscribe to the time, the time slot method of gambling where you bet on one time slot at a time because you're lazy and you don't want to watch multiple hours of football to potentially cash a bet. And that's fine, and it's a perfectly good way to do it, but this is just some advice I'm going to give you now. Cleveland, this game right here, is begging you to put it in a 6.5 point teaser. 6.5 point teaser, Cleveland plus 10. Take that and tag it on with some other shit in a teaser. It's. I got to tell you guys, I meant to start this at the top of the show before we had the athletic report break today, and I knew I had to get upset about the Jets. I wanted to say, I'm getting back into the tease game.
Bro, you're doing a lot of teasing recently.
I'm fucking 2 for 2 on teases the last 2 weeks.
This guy's been feeling himself on the teases. He's wearing pink today, just to let you know.
I'm teasing the audience, dude.
Dude.
I'm teasing my bets and I'm teasing the audience. It is what it is. Look, don't get me wrong. The teaser I hit last week, I pulled a rabbit out of the hat. I had fucking Packers plus a half. They're up by 1 and they get a blocked field goal in the last play of the game. I had Baltimore plus 2.5. They're down by 8, score a touchdown at the end of the game, don't get the 2-point conversion, game's over basically. Pittsburgh runs out the clock, they cover by a half a point. I got by, like it was a lucky one, don't get me wrong. But I'm feeling myself on teases this week. And this right here, there are certain spreads that are tailor-made for a tease. Plus 3.5 is one of those spreads. Bring it up to a touchdown and a field goal. Now, some maybe you don't get the 6.5 point, maybe you get the 6 point, it's still plus 9.5. Same but different, It's a matter of a push versus a loss. Some people won't believe in the push, so maybe you just go for the 6 point tease. I do love that. Let's, what if we go back to an old strategy, Jack?
What?
What was the Thursday Night Football strategy of 2 weeks ago?
Okay, I like it.
Thick boy touchdown parlay?
Thick boy touchdown parlay.
David,
Which thick boys are we betting on today?
Njoku and Muth.
Both plus 300. And Muth is plus 310.
Both of them?
Both of them are plus 300.
Separately.
Separately.
Okay.
Combined, that would be 1,500. You know what? I don't think you're digging hard enough. So I'm going to one-up you. I'm going to go with Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington?
Darnell Washington.
Okay. Is this anytime touchdown?
And Njoku.
Okay.
Brings you to plus 2,900.
Just, you're swapping out Muth.
Swapping
for
out Muth with
Washington.
Darnell Washington.
I don't hate it.
You're not getting silly enough because it's Thursday night football.
Because I'm done getting silly on Thursdays. I don't do that anymore. I don't get silly on Thursdays.
You don't attend the Diddy party on Thursdays, bro?
No, I'm not getting oiled up. Not on Thursday.
I don't know, but something about this parlay is speaking to me.
So then place it.
I'm going to place it. Right now, we got bets riding right now on the NBA,
If Darnell
okay?
Washington scores, I'm going to flip a table in my apartment. I'm going to run it outside, find the table, and flip it, dude.
Let's set one up, dude.
Leave my room, go flip the coffee table, wake up Kelly. Get her pissed off. The dog going to be barking her head off.
It's going to be some rough stuff.
Alright, so that's
Hold on, but that's not the...
That's not all, but wait, there's more. Well, I'm just going to close it out by saying these things. What if you put Cleveland plus a half on the Muth and Njoku? Did I get it up to 1,900?
Cleveland plus a half.
3.5.
3.5. They're not giving me 3.5 because I have to tease it and it won't let me do it.
Isn't that the spread?
Oh, the spread. You hold on. You said bring what?
Cleveland plus 3.5.
Okay.
Tag it with Muth and Njoku.
2,800.
Plus 2,800.
Or you could forget about the spread and you can just bet on Mr. Washington.
Or you could just forget about the spread and bet on Mr. Washington if you believe that sort of thing.
But my bet, because it's so simple to me. I like betting on how the game goes rather. Because I can think about how the game goes.
By the way, while we're doing this, while you're doing this, building your bet, let's share some personal gambling stories from the weekend. So, when I watch UFC, I like to drink. When I watch big UFC cards, I really like to drink, and I like to do some other extracurriculars. And when I do extracurriculars and I watch UFC, I like to gamble on UFC. So, we didn't do too hot between college football and Tennessee, and we entered Sunday down 3.5 units.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound like a lot. I have a pretty sizable unit. It's not great. So
Right.
we're down 3.5 units at the start of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a 16 teaser to get me to basically even. And then Sunday Night Football, I text Alessino, Herbert or Disley anytime touchdown. And he said I could get behind the Disley touchdown. And I placed it. And he fucking scored the first touchdown of the game, I think. And he scored in the first quarter, and I fucking jumped for joy. So we wound up being up 1.5 units. So that was I won 5 units on Sunday.
That's a win.
It was a huge Sunday.
It's a huge Sunday,
Yeah.
especially for how you gamble. Yeah, that's winning.
Yeah.
It's called winning.
Went from being down in a not great way, to up. And up is up, as we say in the business. So shout out Will Disley. I had to spot start him on my fantasy team because fucking Kittle wasn't playing.
Nice.
And he tried. I just ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah,
I think I had second highest points in the league this week and got murdered. Wasn't close.
Yeah, I got caught at the tail end of a great game by Joe Mixon. Real bad beat for me because going into Sunday Night Football, I was down 10. Coming out of Sunday Night Football, I was up 30. So, going into Monday Night Football, I only had there was one player left in our entire matchup. It was Joe Mixon. And this motherfucker scored a hat trick.
Yeah, he got you. He done did you.
He did me.
He done diddled you.
Oh, God.
Done diddled you.
Oh, okay.
All right, finish your bet.
So my bet here, how's the game going to go? Well, what's our favorite thing with Jameis Winston on the field?
Touchdowns and interceptions. Attack.
Right. Jameis Winston to throw one interception. Okay. Parlay that with who's one of the best targets on the team at the moment. Mr. Njoku.
Okay.
50 yards, Mr. Njoku. 50 George Pickens yards because they got to force the ball to him. That all parlayed together brings it to about plus 390. Could you get behind that?
What was the Pickens like?
50 receiving.
50 for Pickens.
Minus 175.
50 for Pickens. 50 for Njoku. 1 Jameis Winston interception.
Yeah.
Feels like stealing.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
It kind of feels like candy from a baby.
So that's my bet for tomorrow night. But I am also gonna throw some cheddar on Darnell Washington first touchdown.
First touchdown?
What are the odds on that, dude?
Plus your fucking mortgage?
Plus 2,500.
Well, best of luck. You heard it here first. Here first, folks. Darnell Washington will be scoring the first touchdown tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football.
I don't do first touchdowns a lot. I don't.
Neither. They're a waste of money.
But they're fun though. Like Super Bowl, it's fun.
Yeah, well, that's the fucking Super Bowl.
Playoff games, it's fun too.
Yeah.
But
not if you're serious about winning money.
I mean, you parlay 2 first touchdown scores. Like you
we
see those
we're
crazy.
talking all the time. Yeah, you see people that parlay 3 first touchdown scores together. Like, yeah, good luck. Your system, you know, like what are you doing, you dumb fuck?
And
Sure,
then
you might win one
hits.
out of every 2,000 of them you place.
But
We're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Justin Shock Shop, West Hampton Beach, and now Mauritius, and Dino Skate Park. Peace out.
stay tuned.